Merry Christmas or something. It's the season of giving, and so I thought I would give to you my gift to you this year is a wonderful safari through the nether regions of Beast Transformer bootlegs, because of course War for Cybertron Kingdom is out now. I've seen pictures of it in a shop that I've set foot in the past right now, so you know it's out there. It's time to get all beastie again, yes. So I'm going to show you some really rubbish Beast Transformers to sort of, you know, juxtapose the really nice, good, exciting ones that we're getting. Let it be called Beast. Oh, I've got some beauties here for you, honestly. Starting off, and coming from the place that most of these came from, actually, that doesn't seem to happen anymore. Zoos. Can't tell you which zoo, I can't remember, but there was a time in the early 2000s where you would walk into a zoo gift shop and there would just be animal robots there. And it was great. You don't get it anymore. Oh, it's sad, you know. The last couple of times I've been to a zoo, I've always looked in a gift shop going, oh, please let there be some rubbish insect robot there or something, you know, weird lion thing, something or other. Nothing. Step up your game, Howlets. Yeah. So, first one is this insect bot. They all have imaginative names like that, or at least all the ones that have been put out by the same company. I think that it's just animal name bot. This is the grasshopper one. I like it. I like the grasshopper mode at least. His legs are a bit wobbly, but look, it's a good grasshopper, isn't it? It's certainly better than like Kickback. He's all green. He's got the compound eyes. He's got his feelers are a bit bent. You know, gold bits up here. All the wings. Got all the detail in them. He's got his big long spiky legs. It's a decent robot grasshopper toy. And if it just left it at that and didn't offer us some kind of robot mode, it would be perfect. Because, oh mate, when you transform it, it's got to be like, look, I did that out of shot in 3 movements. This right here is the worst transforming robot I've ever handled. To be quite honest with you, you know, starting strong, straight out the gate, it's terrible. His legs are all one bit, you know, there's not really any detail going on that isn't stickers. His face, it's not even really a face. It's just a red rectangle above a silver rectangle in the grasshopper's mouth. It's not very good, mate, you know. And what makes it even worse is he does come with a pair of nice sort of chrome G1-ish accessories. He's got an axe and a gun. We don't have anywhere to go in his beast mode. For years I just had them tied to a bit of string around one of his legs. And he can't use them. He can't point the gun because he hasn't got any articulation. The arms, they don't move. He can't do anything. His legs are just fused, and he's just got all the bug legs hanging off his arms and the wings trailing on the floor. Oh mate, so much promise in what I would call really a pretty perfect insect mode. I like grasshoppers, they're fun, aren't they? But oh dear. Yeah. So there we go. Can I go uphill from here? Because at least every other robot I'm about to show you has got some kind of meaningful articulation. Like, oh mate, what a shame. So stepping up, possibly to the biggest sort of bit of quality out of this lot. You've just seen its head poke up at the bottom of the frame there. Oh, that's really all you need to see, to be honest. Just that, the ever screaming face, the beady eyes, the mouth agog, racked in eternal pain. This is the dinosaur bot. This is the Deinonychus, is that how you say it, version. Really, oh, he's got a gold gun there, I'll show you that in a minute. This is an excellent dinosaur toy. Again, like the grasshopper, the animal mode is really good. Like, look at the detail on that. You know, got all this red going up his back, really good, like claws and like all the bits on his like neck standing up while he's sort of gasping in horror. It's really good. You know, all the claws are painted, his teeth are painted, his tongue is painted, scales and wrinkles everywhere. But then of course you have to turn it into a robot. That's what we're here for. I'm sorry, we're not here to look at nice plastic animals. We're here to look at things that sort of ghastily turn into robots they probably shouldn't do. Now, while I transform this and you hear a small cacophony of unpleasant sounds, yes, a couple of bits on him are broken. I don't know if that's testament to the quality of it, you know, because let's face it, if you've seen any kind of knockoff dinosaur robot, I mean, I don't know, I feel kind of bad saying knockoff because clearly it's someone's original design that's been put out millions of times, with different sort of dinosaur skin over its mechanical bones. Yeah, his tail's broken as well on one bit, but it will still go on there for the sake of me showing it to you in his complete robot mode. Or rather, let's give him his gun. Now it's complete. Nearly, he would have a sword as well. Did have a big sort of translucent green sword, the hilt of which, little anecdote here, the hilt of which is exactly the right size to fit in the end minicon that makes the Star Saber. Because back in the day, I didn't have a full Star Saber. I only had the one that makes the handle, sonar. Because I had the VHS Volume 1 of Transformers Armada that came with one minicon. Just one, and it was sonar. So I never had the blade of the Star Saber. So I would stick his sword in the end of that, and that'd be my Star Saber. But I've lost it, so I can't show you it. So there's my little story about that. I'm kind of putting off actually just talking about this. Oh, it's nearly good. It's nearly good. Obviously, the main thing to speak about is the still shrieking dinosaur face just protruding from his chest. Like, oh, it's a bit much, isn't it? But his arms are decently articulated. You know, all of the new robot detail that you get is a nice sort of dark teal, which I appreciate. His face, you know, mouth platey. It's got like purple bits. I like that. So that's a decent head sculpt. Probably the best one we're going to see today. His legs don't move, but they're decently sort of detailed robot legs, aren't they? You know, there's some stuff going on here, mainly with the dinosaur mode, let's be honest. It is at least a bit better than things like Beast Wars Dinobot, you know, but at least that actually gave you a fun robot action figure. This is just, I don't know, it's a cacophony of abomination, perhaps. What is going on with the tail up here, split behind his head? What's that supposed to be? It's not wings, it's just pointy detail flare on the back of a robot. Sadly, that's not the last such sort of piece of weird design language we're going to see today. Yes, one bit of it's broken, but you can just sort of put it back and it makes a sort of fleshy wizard's hat, wouldn't you say? Yeah, oh woo. This lad is something. I recently found an old photo of me holding it, having freshly bought it from whatever zoo it was, sat at the sort of nearby bench in the little sort of picnic area near the gift shop, looking quite pleased with it. But that was because I had yet to fully discover strangeness on offer inside that box. But let's be honest, it is still pretty good. If you're, you know, as I was, a sort of 9-10-year-old boy just wanting a dinosaur robot because he had a day out with his family at the zoo, and it's like, oh yes mate, I like Transformers the best, and there's a weird sort of one in the gift shop here, of course I'm going to come home with that. Then it's brilliant. But in terms of actual robot toy quality, it's a bit wibbly. But I have to say, it's still probably the best thing we're going to see today. So there you go, mate. Try to calm down a bit. What have you seen? So moving back into the land of bugs, because I like bugs. Sorry, my main use for Facebook now is just an entomology meme page. We've got a stag beetle. His pinchers move. He's got loads of nice detail, you know, like thrusters up his bum end and all this stuff with the stickers and whatever. And his legs will move. He's got painted eyes. I think that's pretty cool. It's a decent insect robot. He came in a pack of 4 from Pound Stretcher back in, I don't know, 2000. Can't tell you what they were called. I just remember them being 4 of them, and I remember seeing them and thinking, oh, I've never seen them before. I want them for Christmas or my birthday or something, and I eventually got them. And the other 3 have kind of fallen apart. So I can only show you this one, really, because he's the only one that's in a fit state for the camera. There was a dragonfly, there was a wasp, and there was like a rhinoceros beetle that's basically the same as this, but with a different shell. But they're all really wobbly and knackered. So here we are. I'm showing you the stag beetle. I suppose it's kind of good, really, that this was always the best one. I like the colours, you know, black and brown. He's almost giving Chop Shop a run for his money. And I think once I get him in his robot mode, you might see he's probably got some bits on the go that are a little bit better than Chop Shop. Like, I mean, at least, like look, his wing case opens, his elytra unfold. It's a little bit of a faff to get him transformed because all the legs kind of get in the way. But once you do, I think you would agree, that's a decent insect robot man, isn't it? You know, he's got the sort of pinchers up here, sort of blocking his arms off a bit, and he's just got legs sticking up out there. But they do sort of evoke a sort of samurai thing, I feel. You know, it's a decent look. You know, it's capturing some of the sort of G1-y feels stuff. That's if this was an original thing. I don't know. Maybe it is actually a knockoff of some anime bug robo thing I don't know about. If you recognise it, please let me know, because I'd honestly like to see a slightly more decent version of him, because he's all wobbly and he won't stand up. Some of the stickers are peeling, like the one that is his eyes up here isn't on straight and it's never stuck around his face all the way. But his legs will move. He's got knees. He's got elbows. I like some of the detail on his chest here, this kind of spark crystally almost bit there. It's a cool robot. I haven't really got anything bad to say about it apart from the fact it's just wobbly, you know? Yeah, pretty decent, mate, pretty decent. What isn't decent, however, is the only true knockoff that I can really speak of that I'm going to show you today, simply because I just know what it's knocked off from. It's, this is... I'm going to have to show you a picture or something of the packaging, because this is quite brilliant. Obviously, it's Beast Wars 2, is it? 2? One of the Japanese Beast Wars, Crazy Bolt. I didn't realise at the time, I just thought it was an Iguanus that was the wrong colours because he's a knockoff. Yeah, this is the Animism Defender Iguanus. I got this from a Carrefour in Normandy. Probably the first I've ever been from home, actually. On a school trip, I was about 12. Got to tell you, at that point, France is this kind of seedy land where you can see properly naked pictures of people in the pharmacy window, and you can go in the shop and buy sweets that look exactly like cigarettes or actual pills. Oh, mate, like, oh. So of course, what do I bring home? I bring home the Bootleg transforming robot. Because the shop didn't have any real ones. You know, this would have been a sort of time when Cybertron might have been on shelves. They had no real Transformers, they just had these ones packed in with like see-through dinosaur warrior figurines, like a Digimon or something. I don't know what that was about. And the box has got a weird off art picture of Beast Machine's Cheetor, and on the back it's got a bad translation of like basically the Beast Wars Beast Machine story. It's brilliant. All of them, nearly all of them, have got like spelling mistakes in their names. What a wonderful introduction to the world of just knockoff tat for me that this was. It's a frilled lizard. His mouth won't shut all the way, but I suppose at least they painted his teeth and his tongue and all the stripes up his back, and you've got this scaly detail. But when I go to transform it, you'll see, oh mate, it's just, that doesn't feel right. Like the spring is just, something isn't right here. And all of his ball joints, mostly just all the joints really, are just knackered. They're just bad, and he's all wobbly, and his face is all just, even if you could probably see that properly, it's no point looking at it, because it's just a sort of melted, disfigured mess. His hands won't fold up all the way. He's not going to stand up because his ankles won't hold any weight. But at least he has got the tail gun there. He can hold. The instructions on the box, or I think they're on the box, or whatever, never mentioned that, so I always thought, oh, it's like, is that something that I've found out? Is it supposed to do that? Of course it's supposed to do that, you know, that's what the Beast Wars one does, but he's not holding that properly. It's terrible. It's really, really bad, and the only reason I haven't chucked it in a bin is because it just gives me a bit of a laugh. It reminds me of a bit of fun, you know, from the old days. But now it's time to return to more things I got from a zoo somewhere. Continuing the tradition of X-organism bot, this is the reptile bot. And if I show you the scan that I took of its card that it came on, I think you'll agree, this is the worst, most lackluster, low effort, like put together in literally 5 minutes on a Friday afternoon packaging you will have ever seen. It's clip art, it's default fonts that just come in Microsoft Word. It's terrible. And for that reason, it's amazing and you have to look at it. Anyway, what came in that box is this crocodile thing. It's all knobbly. It's all knobbly up his back here. I feel like that is something that Transformers have never really done. There's never been a properly like gnarly, craggy, rough croc, has there? You know, Skull Crunch is kind of smooth, and I don't know. I like that. That's like his distinguishing feature. But he's all kind of flat and squished, and he's got some chrome guns stuck on his jaw. It's not really the right shape, really, is it? It's perfectly rectangular. But there's something here, you know, like the other animal bots I've shown you. There's something that it feels at least kind of slightly original. And we'll transform him if I can do it without pulling his legs off. And you'll see that any kind of design flair sadly ends at what he turned into. Oh boy, isn't that the broken record of today? Why couldn't they just get robot modes right? I'm going to position the guns on his chest like that, because they can come off and they can go in his hands, but his hands are just a bit too loose to actually hold onto them, so that's going to be his robot mode. The legs down here are jointed, but only one of them will move, the other one's done up too tight. Yeah, it's a croc man. He's got tail bits up here, his arms will move, he's got a croc head on his chest, his legs will move, but they're mostly kind of just sort of empty in a weird sort of way around his hips up there, because his arms go in down there. It's a bit odd. The worst thing though is his head sculpt. You know, if I was going to tell you I've got a crocodile robot, you want it to turn into some gnarly, angry looking bloke, don't you? You know, it's got to be fitting, it's got to be intimidating and menacing. What you've got instead is a first appearance Cyberman. It looks like it's just, you know, a cardboard face with squares cut out for the eyes and the mouth. It's rubbish, and it's all chromed for some reason, so you can't really ignore it. It's the worst head sculpt I think I've probably ever seen. Yeah, it's just not right, is it? What is that? Now, my friends, we reach the end with what might be, possibly, oh, I don't know, is it the best one? It all might be. I don't know, I'll leave that up to you. This is the Animal Bot. Yes, I've been using that as a stand-in name for just, you know, all of these, but this is actually what this one was called. It's just Animal Bot. I think there were various mammals or like big cats that these ones turned into. This one's a tiger, obviously. And it's purple, but it's a tiger. It's a purple and gold tiger. Look at all the stripes up there. Solid gold tail, big chrome guns on his shoulders, stripy face with big ears that are not like a cat at all. But it's brilliant. It's like, oh yes, mate. Oh, if you're gonna do a G.I. Joe Transformers crossover, I think we found Destro's alt mode, haven't we? You know, like at least the one with where he's wearing all the leopard print. Yes, mate. There's something about this, isn't there? There's an energy, there's a charisma going on here. You can't deny. So let's turn him into a robot and kind of, I'd say remove some of it, but I don't think it does actually remove a lot of it, because you've still just got a robot made out of a purple and gold tiger, and I think that's always going to look a certain way, isn't it? So here he is. Again, I suppose you could move his tiger feet out the way. He's a bit wobbly, but there you go. He at least comes off a bit better than the Croc Man by mostly being a good colour. My lights are falling down. Oh, what? And having a much better head sculpt. It's still, for whatever reason, again, entirely chrome, and bits are picked out in purple chrome on his face. But there's a mouth plate, there's a visor. It's looking more roboty, it's looking better. And honestly, a purple chrome face on this lad just feels like it fits, doesn't it? You know, the guns do come off, but they haven't got anywhere else to go. He can't hold them. There's no holes in his fists down here that are on the other side of his paws. Again, it's just something untapped here, I think, by official transforming robots, that gives this a little bit of a place, at least in my house, even if he does live in a box, with all the rest of them most of the time tucked away somewhere, where I will periodically get them all out and go, haha, that's funny, innit? That robot is rubbish, and then put them all back again. So at least now I've aired them all out for you to see. I hope you've enjoyed that. It's my little Christmas gift to you. Yeah, they're weird, they're bad, but they're endearing to me somehow. You know, they're things what I bought and enjoyed for 5 minutes, and now get a bit of a laugh out of. And please do feel free to give them some interesting names down in the comments, and tell me if any of them are actually knockoffs. Like, is there a better version of this grasshopper lad? I really hope so, because I do like him, really. And I think that's all I can say about them, really. Do you have a similar experience with any of these weirdos? Have you ever seen the other reptile bots? Have you ever seen packaging as bad as some of this? Oh, what an experience. What a wonderful trawl through the animal kingdom there. Oh, call that a War for Cybertron duchy, War for Cybertron principality. Kingdom's going to be good. These are bad. Don't get me wrong, they're bad, but they still hold a place in my heart. Everyone's got one knockoff they like, really, haven't they? Everyone at least has got one that they haven't put in the bin yet. So Merry Crimbo. Be nice to the bugs you find in your house. I don't know, I feel like I want to say that. Stay safe out there. Try to have a good Christmas, please, people. And I'll see you on the flip side.